Welcome to the C&C Auto Show. I am Aaron Clements here with co-host David Clark.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. And Jamie Bridges.
Good morning.
And we have a guest over here. We have Emma Watkins. Emma is 14 years old, and she attended actually to mostly watch and observe an automotive event. She is looking into different trade organizations. And that's one thing I want to go ahead and mention in the very beginning here that we try to do here at the C&C Auto Show. We want to bring the newest generations in and let them see how a lot of different things is done, and let them find out if that's something, some area that they may enjoy, because that's one of the most beautiful things is when you see people that start to do something at an early age that they really like. And I think that's important. And that's why I'm such a strong proponent of technology or technical schools that people can go to. Some people may decide to go and be an attorney, a doctor, or something that they really like to do that way. But other people really want to do something to where they're doing something with their hands, possibly automotive repair, welding, collision repair, or they might IT work, electricians. There's so many other things, and I think in this country we should have beautiful technical schools and all over the place, to where these kids that do want that, they have the opportunity to go there and learn that trade. I was watching videos last night having to do with the Dodge brothers. They started at a very early age working with their dad in a machine shop. Well, they created Dodge.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful, and worked with Henry Ford. Henry Ford started out things small like that. So I think that's something that would just be so fantastic for that generation and fantastic for the country, because that's where all these great people come from that did all these things.
Trade jobs are up, but there are more need for people with trades, and knowing how to do these specialized things, whether it's in heavy duty mechanical, whether it's in collision, whether it's in automotive, whether it's HVAC techs. If you look at the trade jobs that are out there, they are flooding the market. They need people, but there's also a lot of people that are getting into it. So I think we got a boom coming. For the country. I think, as this AI stuff continues to push some of these people out from behind the desk, and unfortunately those jobs are going to get replaced, you're going to see a higher need for people that can actually do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That computer can't
actually do something.
Well, I'm just being
it's not
honest.
Gonna crawl under the house and fix the air conditioner.
Yeah, I mean, that computer's not going to get under there and fix that, right? Like,
No.
you got to have a person that's going to go fix that. Last week we had the snowstorm that came through, and I know there was a lot of pipes that got froze up. and those pipes weren't unfreezing, or those problems weren't being fixed because they were calling up somebody on the telephone or logging into their computer to do it, right? There was a guy that was coming out in a van to figure out how to fix your house.
And I'm going to tell you, we had a couple of pipes that needed some work done after things froze. And they don't advertise on the show or anything like that, but I'll mention we use Universal Plumbing, and they were great. You call that place, and they first tell you what the prices are to give the estimate, and then they'll give you the estimate when they get here. They send a letter saying, hey, this is when we'll be there. They send a text and a person's picture. They get here. They say, this is what it's going to cost. You say, okay. They do it. They leave. They send you a survey to say, how'd we do?
Oh
You can't ask for no more than that.
Look at those communication skills.
Yeah, good
That's
company,
awesome.
and I enjoyed working with them. Now, I'm going to mention two things real quick. Also, Jamie, you were a judge at an automotive competition yesterday, right?
The same one that Emma went to observe.
Okay.
Our service manager, Mike Taylor, he's been on the show before. Mike and I were two of the judges for the competition for the high school kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always a great time, to see them. They're so excited, because they had to earn their place to even compete. And then they're competing against each other for, prizes. And I mean, it's just, to see how excited they are, and their just love for the automotive industry.
And I've wrote an article having to do with my trip to JTech. and I'm going to have to share that on the cncautoshow.com site. But on that, in that article, I showed the pictures of all the things at JTech, and it's a technical institute in Jacksonville, Florida. But they have 3 large areas for automotive repair: transmissions, engines, hybrids, EVs, just all of this area. Then they have an area for boats, outboard motors, inboard motors, inboard outboards. Then they have one for RV. They have electricians. They have HVAC. They have commercial HVAC, residential HVAC. They have like 6 semis in one room to work on. It's just a beautiful sight, knowing that those people that go through that class, they will have a job for life.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they will have a trade that they can do for the rest of their life, and most of them, there's so many choices, they'll be able to find something they really love, really enjoy. So
And
I
you
love
notice
that.
Aaron mentioned every other trade except
Yeah.
for collision.
Yeah.
They got everything
Well,
but collision.
I-
We're going there, Aaron, and I'm going to protest.
Well,
and say,
I
hey,
did
we
not
need a
figure out
collision
why they
operation
didn't
here.
have collision repair in there, but that'll be a question that we'll have to ask them. Okay, want to thank everybody tuning into the C&C Auto Show. Want to mention, we'll talk a little bit about why you love your car. I think that'd be a great thing. So if someone, along with asking their automotive questions, if they want to call in and say, I love my car because it might be heated seats, it might be a heated steering wheel, it might be cruise control, it might be smart cruise, but whatever you love about your car, give us a call. And we will go ahead and start out with a tech tip quiz also. We will give that tech tip quiz. And the tech tip quiz is, what is the number one reason why most people who have owned their car over 5 years say they love their car? The number one reason. So if you have a question about your car, your truck, your SUV, or you want to call in and let us know why you love your car, you give us a call, and that number is 800-224-9090. And you can also go to ccautoshow.com and watch the show, and there's some new features coming up from Kingdom Web Pros on that. I got an email last night that they're going to be doing a lot of new stuff. Gary and Caleb and and a lot of the others on the team there, they're going to be doing some neat stuff.
Gary's
Good.
amazing. What
Yeah.
he can do online and what they've done with the website here and what they do just across the board.
Yep. They're going to be doing some good stuff. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with one of the things that I wanted to mention is Larry Johnson in Atlanta. He installed a Life360 to monitor his teenage children. And he did it as good parenting. He wanted to kind of make sure they wasn't going over the speed limit, wanted to kind of keep an eye on things, make sure they wasn't going to
Where they wasn't supposed to be.
yeah, places like that. Well, he got a quote. He got his updated insurance quote, and his rates had jumped something like 60% or something like that. So he started checking, and he started calling, and come to find out the insurance company was buying the information from Life360 to get people's driving habits.
Huh.
And because of that, they increased his rates like 60%.
Oh, maybe his kids weren't doing what they're supposed to do anyway.
Well,
My thing is, I've got a problem with that. Like, it's not their information to sell.
No, it's not.
Like, why are you selling my information?
Especially if you're already paying them
Right.
to use their service. They're already getting paid. Why are they trying to catch something on the
And
back
so
end?
now
Yeah.
they're not only making money off of you, but they're going to make money off your bad habits.
Yeah, exactly.
And your insurance company's going to make more money off of you. So just
well,
the poor person
that's
that's
the
driving
reason I
around.
wanted to bring
Yeah.
this up, so that we could talk about that a little bit, because I can see it if I were to give them that information and say, I want you to give us an insurance quote, and I want the lower rate, so I want you to monitor my driving.
yeah.
But if you just buying an app and they monitor it and not giving you permission or not telling you that they're buying it, nah.
It's not your information.
Exactly.
Like, why are you selling my stuff of what I do if I don't want to sell it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
And then I'm paying you for it.
it's just like the heated seat subscription. It's just it's a cash grab. It's all it is.
Well, that's what I was thinking about when Aaron was talking about why do you love your car? Well, I thought he said heated seats and heated steering wheel, and I was thinking the
heated
whole time
steering
like
wheel.
somebody's going to pay a subscription for a heated seat and a
I
heated
mean,
steering wheel.
You're in the car. Why do you need a heated steering wheel? You're in the car. Like that just
Hey, now
why?
a guy that I work with in Alabama, he's got one of those fancy Yukons.
Yeah.
And like he's got the heated seats, and we were riding it the other day, and it was 20-something degrees out. It was freezing.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his heated seats. He said, and let me tell you about this right here. And he's grabbing the steering wheel. This is the best feature on the car.
Well, going around the room real quick, what's your favorite feature on your vehicle? Why do you love your car?
It's paid for.
Wow. Now that might be a hint for the tech tip quiz winners there. That's I mentioned that we're looking for the number one reason.
Yeah. So I mean, that's me.
Jamie?
Well, same as David because they're paid for. Other than that, everything I have is older and high mileage. And because of that, because they're older, they don't have all the extra crap. They don't Bluetooth. They don't have these big tablet-sized things in there to distract you. They're just
They got knobs and buttons.
Yeah, they got knobs and buttons.
I love how Jamie's just raw. She just said that crap.
That crap.
That crap that's in the car.
I mean, you get in the car to go from A to B, and you're driving. You don't need a tablet and all
They're
this.
They're bringing buttons back, Jamie.
Yeah, well, good.
They're bringing
I'm
them back.
glad for
this
that.
This is a big thing that's happening.
I mean, all this other stuff. They're all distracted driving kills this many people a year, and it's terrible. And a lot of that is cell phone usage. But also, if you're sitting there trying to figure out all of this crap on your on your on your little tablet-sized TV
you go
screen,
buck wild.
Yeah, you go buck wild, and then you have an accident.
That's why you're going to go into these autonomous vehicles, and it's just going to drive itself. So you can mess with all the crap. And then you can kick it in buck wild mode, and it'll do it.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to name the paid for part because that's already been said.
Yeah.
But probably mine would be CarPlay, being able to sync my phone. Because what I do, I have a ritual that I go through. I listen to a certain amount of news, a certain amount of music, and then a certain amount of podcasts as I'm driving. And so I'm able to just switch back and forth from phone to car to radio, and I love it all. So I love to be able to get updated as I'm driving down the road. And then you get a call in the middle of all of it. You just push a button and boom, you can talk. So I love the technology involved in the radio system.
Aaron is in the car like a tech ninja. Podcast, radio, news.
I do, yeah.
Everywhere.
Okay, ready to go to calls?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. And yes, we do welcome you to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help with?
Well, I could answer that tech tip.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to put you on stage first. Before we do, right there. And the question was, what is the number one reason why most people that have owned their car over 5 years say that they love their car? All eyes are on you. What is the answer?
Because it's paid for.
Oh, you had a strong hit, and we proved that was the number one thing before.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely right.
Ron, you mean you don't want to go out and finance a $100,000 car for 10 years or 12 years at 6%, 8% interest?
Well, I don't know any sane person that would, but Aaron was saying about that I got the the hint from you guys, but when you first mentioned it on the radio this morning, that was the first thing that went through my mind.
Yes.
And 380 million other people's minds.
All right.
It's paid for.
So, Ron, we're going. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I love my car because 250 years ago we got our freedom, and that automobile is part of my freedom. I can get in it, go where I want to go, do what I want to do. next to the religion and anything else, that's my one priority is my automobile.
Yeah, it's your
And,
space.
you talk-
It's like
That's it.
that's where you do, and that's the reason I enjoy. Now I have to. It takes me 40 minutes to get home now. If I really push it, I can do it in 30, but usually 40 minutes to get home now. And in doing that, I do all of these things. I get caught up on all these things, and I kind of enjoy that time being able to do the things that I want to do. Because
absolutely.
I'm sitting there sending texts and all this other
That's
stuff.
against the law.
Yeah.
Aaron,
Voice-
you're
voice
breaking
No,
the
it's
law.
voice. I do voice
okay.
voice
But you're
text.
still texting and driving.
Yeah.
Catch up with your
Just told
knitting,
on
all
yourself.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, you're talking about the invasion of our privacy. I like to listen to Kim Commando's show after this show, and a fella called in last week. He wanted to keep up with his kids after he had bought them automobiles. So he had a app that would show the location where his kids are when he wanted to. And he said about 3 months later, the insurance company sent him an increase in policy bill because they were monitoring that app and was his kids were making short stops, were speeding in speed limited areas, were doing different infractions to the law that they picked up on, and it's costing him a ton of money now.
I read that
and all
same
he wanted
article.
to do was
all
he wanted to do was to keep up with his kids. I wonder if you could take, what do you call those things that you put on a vehicle or something to track them?
Yeah, air tag
or airbird.
Yeah,
air tag.
Yeah,
just put an air tag on them kids.
Then Apple will sell your information, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, I really appreciate your show and enjoying it as always.
Well, you're always awesome. I'm going to put you on hold so Anna can write down your information to make sure you get a prize package. We will go over to Mike. Mike, welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help with?
I just wanted to say what I like about my car.
Great.
Not only is it paid for,
there we go,
but somebody gave me a ride in a little Hyundai. I felt like I sat on the ground. I flopped onto the seat. And then somebody gave me a ride in a pickup truck. I mean, it was all I could do to get up into that thing. And my car, the Dodge Charger, was just right. It's the Goldilocks.
Not too high, not too low.
Wow.
Right, exactly.
So it just kind of fits you.
Delicate.
You just fit right in there.
Yep, I do.
Right. Real quick,
I can
right
just
before you
sort
go.
of turn and plant my butt. And then just swing my legs in.
Well, right before you go, let us know what
Just
color
right.
it is. What color's your Dodge Charger?
Oh, it's white.
White.
It's
All right.
The Dodge Police, the Police Pursuit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
most of
white
the
with
cars
black
that I
wheels.
get are white. I love white vehicles for whatever reason.
He's the guy that's riding down the interstate that everybody's freaking out about, thinking cops are coming by. They all get out of the way.
Well, that's the reason I use the radar detector. I don't worry because I know that if it's not beeping, they're probably not the police.
There you go.
All right. We appreciate that very much. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. I love your show.
Thank you.
And I thank you for the books.
Oh,
I got the book.
fantastic.
Good.
Great. The cross-check
So
method.
I'm gonna finish reading your cross-check book, and I'll call you back next Saturday and give you a report.
That is awesome. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
the cross-check method, I went to Jacksonville, Florida not too long ago, and I explained the cross-check method to a big transmission shop that actually builds transmissions for places all around the country. And he called me back. He said they've been using the cross-check method across all of their locations, and they absolutely love it. And now they're starting to use it in the transmission building area where the transmissions are built to go out across the country. So He said it's worked out really well. So it
That's
works.
awesome.
It's a great system. And again, I'm not just saying that every single day, all day long. We do it here
Oh,
at this shop
yeah.
right here.
If you come to C&C, you're going to hear it.
Yeah. I want to mention
over the
something.
radio all day.
You know, I love aviation, and we were talking about different industries that people go into. More than likely, I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else than what I do right now. But if I would have had to do something else, it probably would have been a pilot or an aviation technician. And I did have my commercial license, so I could have done all that. I had instrument rating and all of the other things. So I still love aviation. That's a big thing for me. And I just want to mention how far general aviation has come over the years. I mean, even just a four-seater airplane that you can get now, they have technology, and this is in the Cirrus. If you're flying along, if the pilot is just flying along and it has a medical issue, let's say a heart issue or something like that, then if he or she is able to, they can push the button, or if a passenger in the aircraft is there, they can push the button. But this aircraft will say medical emergency coming into land. It'll call the nearest airport. It'll fly to that airport, and it will land itself at that airport. So that's an amazing thing. The other thing a lot of them have, and Cirrus has this, but there's other aircraft that have this now, and that's the ballistic chute. On Cirrus, it's called the CAP system, Cirrus Automatic Parachute System. But if you're flying along, and let's say that the engine stops, it used to be you would have to find an emergency place to land, and if it was dark, you were in trouble. But now there's a handle above your head. You reach down, you pull it, and a parachute pops out, and the whole airplane floats to the
Oh,
ground.
I've seen pictures of them
Yep.
testing that thing. That's the craziest thing is the
Well,
airplane
They
dangling
work.
from
A
a
lot
parachute.
of people have been saved by that thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
it
saved.
is.
And of course, you add to that the moving maps. I mean, you get in now. I mean, you pretty much just flying along, and it's a moving map on the screen. You're talking about tablets, but in modern aircraft, all it is like tablets on the dash.
Yeah.
You have either 2 or 3 big tablets, and they're redundant. So you're able to, if one item breaks another, you can move it
Yeah.
over to another spot. You're able to look at traffic around you. The other aircraft have transponders, and you're able to see, oh, I got another airplane a mile back or a mile ahead of me or whatever. Almost instant weather. The weather that you used to have to call in to get, now you can just see it on your screen. There's just so many things now. So aviation, general aviation, has come such a long way.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful sight to see.
Well, and I think you have a lot of that influences down into automotive.
Oh
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
all the stuff we're seeing with ADAS and just all the technology just rolling into the cars being influenced from what they've seen that's been successful in aviation.
A lot of it has come, but it's also gone both ways because there's a lot of things that happened in the automotive industry that have moved over to the aviation industry. And I know a lot of technicians that have moved from aviation over into automotive and vice versa. But usually I see a heck of a lot of technicians move from aviation to automotive. Because, I mean, the vehicles are more just a rolling computer now. It's just like
Yeah.
what they said. I had, what is this? I had something on there about, I know what it was. The a few cars, several different vehicles. Well, Hyundai and Genesis is one of them. They have had a huge problem with the screens, or pretty much it's just a monitor. You'll be riding along and it just go boom, it goes out on them.
Huh.
And so they've had a problem with that. Ford and Toyota's had a problem with the monitor the infotainment system going out.
Yeah.
And that's includes a backup camera. It just goes out. So now things that used to happen at your home computer or work computer, they're happening on your car.
Yeah, well, it was only a matter of time before hackers or malware or something got into your vehicles and locked it down.
Well, some of the new Hyundais, if you've seen like the new Kona, we worked on
Yeah.
one during the hurricane and a tree fell through it, but it had the entire dash that kind of wrapped around. There was just one big continuous screen
Huh.
that went around the whole dash, and it was enormous.
Oh, but I was going to ask you last week. You had a vehicle that they were taking the headliner down as we were working. We won't mention names or anything, but we will mention what ended up happening with that vehicle that you found it. Because after the show, I walked down there and looked at it, and you could see
All the tack
where the
welds,
welding,
yeah.
tack welding and all. What ended up happening?
So I'll say I don't give a lot of shout outs to insurance companies about stepping up and doing the right thing, but we had been fighting this car for the customer for 5 months, and then I got involved for 2 months in trying to look through the corrective repairs. We submitted all that information we found last week and some additional documentation, and State Farm did step up and take care of their customer. This past Thursday, they took care of the car and took care of all her additional expenses that she endured. So hats off to State Farm for being a good neighbor.
Oh, good. Well, that's
I don't say that a lot, but when you do something right, I'm going to give you a shout out. Like
Well,
they did the right thing, and so it was definitely really, really good for the customer. So that unsafe vehicle is off the road now as a total loss, and that customer is going to be made whole.
And there was a lot of money involved in that deal.
It
what
was
I
over
consider a lot of money.
$22,000 to do the repairs. Once they got through with purchasing the car, it was a Mercedes AMG, and the payout and everything was somewhere around $70,000.
yeah,
So,
that's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, I would put that as a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it when my week involves a situation where I have to call Aaron and say, Aaron, am I losing my mind of what's happening? So this week I was working with a shop, and for the DIY people out there that do their own maintenance,
Yeah.
this situation will apply to you. But the shop was doing the repairs. They had to remove the radiator from the car. So
Yeah.
obviously, to remove the radiator, you got to drain it. Right?
Yeah.
So it makes the most sense that you would just put coolant back into the car. Fresh,
Yeah,
clean
fresh
coolant.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Well, unfortunately, not every insurance company likes to pay for things. And so the shop writes everything up. They send it up to get paid for the customer, and the insurance company sends back and says, no, we're not going to pay for that coolant. You just need to reuse the coolant that was in it because there was nothing wrong with it because it wasn't leaking. And so
You're talking about cheap. Oh, my gosh.
So the service advisor comes to me and they bring me the situation, and I'm like mind blown by this thing. And thank God they didn't do it. And so I send Aaron an email. I said, Aaron, please give me your insight on this because I know I'm not losing my mind that this cannot be the right way. And Aaron, give us your wisdom that you gave me that helped work through this and why people do not need to use recycled coolant.
Well, I mean, a lot of the reasons are real obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
the coolant is one of the most important fluids in the vehicle. I mean, you have engine oil, which is very important, but also the coolant is what transfers all that heat that's inside that engine up to the radiator so it can be cooled back down, get rid of that heat, and go back and get some more.
Yeah.
So you're cooling down the engine. Also, you're decreasing the freezing point. So at night, your engine won't freeze, and you're increasing the boiling point. A lot of people wonder how this engine's running at 225 degrees and it's not boiling. Well, you got it under pressure. That increases the boiling point, but also the engine coolant increases the boiling point. So it's very important there. Another huge thing is corrosion inhibitors. If you didn't have antifreeze and good antifreeze, and that's why I recommend the Peak antifreeze plus coolant, but if you didn't use really good antifreeze in the vehicle, then rust would build up. And once rust starts, you can't get rid of it. Not to mention the metals. You have dissimilar metals in the engine now. You have aluminum alloys, you have cast iron, you have all of these other metals. And if you put different metals together, and then you shoot electrical current, and all vehicles use the engine as ground, and you have electrical current flying everywhere under there, you create a battery inside that electrical system. I mean, inside that cooling system. So the cooling system turns into an electrical system. So, but then the corrosion builds up, and then you start having radiators, heater cores. So the coolant's very important, and it's important to have a 50-50 mix. Well, to start with, if you happen to lose any as you're doing it, and you top it off, you don't know the amount to top it off to make sure that you still have that 50-50 balance on there. But to me, one of the most important things in response to that, if no antifreeze was lost on the vehicle and they're just draining it out, putting it back in, is dust and dirt.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have that drain pan and there could be little clumps of dirt, little pieces of sand. Well, you say, well, what's the big deal? Well, just like where a stream is running and you have little fine particles inside that stream and it washes away that rock, and over all these years it turns into a real smooth rock or washes away a certain amount of that rock. Inside the cooling system, it's the same way. If you get any dust or debris or small particles in there, it's going to eat away the metal parts inside that cooling system, and that has to do with blocks, that has to do with heater cores, radiators, gaskets, all of these things. So, in short, that's being just a little too cheap.
Yeah.
So and there's different color coolants, right? So what if you got one drain pan or you got two, or do you need to have a different drain pan for every different type of fluid, because are there not going to be different components in those different
compatible.
colors?
Yes. If you were to redo it, not only if you were to do that,
Yeah.
not only would you need a different drain pan for every vehicle, but you would have to thoroughly clean that drain pan
Yeah.
before you let it go in there, and screen and filter the fluid before you put it back in the vehicle to make sure that no dust or debris or rocks or anything. Because when you're under a car, little pieces of dirt are going
Rains down right into your
are going to
eyes.
fall. Yeah, they fall in your eyes and they fall in your drain pan. So with that, you're going to have a certain amount. So it has to be filtered before it goes back in.
And
So I
unfortunately-
would always use a good 50-50 mix of antifreeze. And I mentioned the peak antifreeze plus coolant.
and the body shop, it's like the emergency room
Yeah.
for cars, right?
Triage.
But unfortunately, we don't have clean emergency rooms
No.
that
No.
we're going into. So
Yeah.
it is a dusty environment.
Mhm.
It is, as clean as you want to keep the shop, it's still not completely clean.
And
No,
like
it'll
you
never
pointed
be.
out on that other vehicle that you were working on, I mean, we're not working on $300, $400, $500 vehicles. I
Right.
mean, you're talking about some vehicles are running $50, $60, $70, $100, $125,000 that are in there that this is being on, and they deserve to have the very best. And even if the vehicle is only a $3,000 vehicle, that's that customer's vehicle that they're using to get back and forth to work every day. That's what they love, certain things on that vehicle, and that's their private space, and it deserves to have the best. And no, use cooling that's not it.
Well, and I just bring this stuff up because it's real world things that are happening today that I think consumers, if you're in an accident and you're going into a shop, these are questions you should be asking. And these are challenges shops are facing with insurance companies. So I hope that there's some insurance people that are listening to this show that say, maybe I'm making some dumb decisions if
Yeah.
I ask somebody to recycle coolant. The fluids in the car today are probably more important than they ever have
Yes.
been.
Yeah.
We talk about it with oil. We talk about it with transmission fluid. We're talking about it with coolant. Like, all these things are so important to the longevity of the car now. So consumers be aware.
Even if all the other things were followed, if the car's over 2 years old, it's done lost its rust inhibitors anyway. Now I will take exception of that. A brand new car, I would say more like 3 years, sometimes 4 years, because you have no oxygen has entered the system, and it's pretty much completely tight. So you can go a little bit longer. But in short, if the vehicle's over a couple of years old, it's pretty much about lost all its rust inhibitors, and just putting the old back in, you're not gonna have the rust inhibitors, and you're gonna have a certain amount of metal particles, because if you got fluid that's been flowing for all those miles, then it's going to pick up metal particles, and those particles are going to be in there, and that goes true for a transmission. You get transmission fluid, it gets hot, you're lubricating, moving parts. The parts are going to have a certain amount of wear. So you keeping that fluid clean and keeping those metal particles out of there, having it where it has the right viscosity, very important to a vehicle.
Well, I think when the car's in the shop, right? I mean, for collision, there's a lot of times we'll have a front end of a car torn down for a long time.
Yeah.
And so those lines have to be covered and protected and made sure that other things aren't just going into the lines in the environment, right? Like, so, yeah, consumers be aware.
Let's start out with something that Emma said that is kind of close to her heart that she thought that we should talk about a little bit, and I agree. It's a big deal. That's tow truck drivers. There's a certain number of tow truck drivers that are either injured or killed. Emma, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a lot of people, like, there's a law, slow down, move over, and some people, like, they do it and others, like, don't. Because my dad had a friend, Jason Willis, he worked for Wayne's. He was on the side of the road loading up a car at like 3 a.m. or something, and he was hit by a semi and he was killed. And a lot of people, like a lot of his friends were like, upset about it, and they never found out who it was. So that's like, a lot of these people have families that they want to go home to, and you have to like support them and not like be out to get them.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they just don't slow down, move over.
So what is tell everybody what your background is. Why do you care about tow truck drivers so much?
Well, my grandpa, Timmy Watkins, he started with his business when my dad was little, and then my dad, as he got older, he was like, hey, I want to do this too. So he started his business, Watkins Towing, when I was in kindergarten, and we've just been open since.
So you're a family with a lot of tow truck drivers in there.
And painting body, because of Jamie.
And I will tell you, I drove a tow truck at one time. Our tow truck, when we first bought one, I had to get out in the backyard and learn how to use it because I didn't have any experience on it. And I wanted to be able to show other people that come here how to do it. I have done towing on the side of an interstate. At the time, there was no law, and it is a scary thing. So I think with that, let's listen to Emma, and when we see either a police officer or a tow truck driver or anybody providing some type of service on the side of the road, and really if you even see a car there and you can move over to the other lane, and then when you safely pass that car, then get back in your lane, because there could be somebody that is there and you want to just be very careful with it.
Absolutely. That's I drove a tow truck, me and my wife. She used to love to ride around. And they're a bunch of fun, and you help people in need. But it is also, like you said, I mean, when you get on the interstate or even just on the regular road, it's nervous as you're having to lay underneath the car and try and hook the car up so that you can pull it up on the back of the rollback, that you don't know what's coming. And so you just got to trust those other drivers that they're going to do the right thing, because you could be under that car and they come and hit the car that you're pulling. And
they could be looking at their phone or doing something, and you got to figure how many times you accidentally ease over into on the side of the road and hear the little rumble strips. If there's a car there, you could hit it. So just be careful. Listen to Emma and be careful.
It looks like the phones are blowing up.
Yes, we do. Let's go over to John. And John, welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help with?
Hey, Aaron, I'm enjoying the show again. I got a question for you, and then I've got a wrong answer for the tech test.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
I was driving down the road the other day, and I saw a vehicle that said all-wheel drive on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when he pulled away, there was no differential, no axle, just suspension and wheels.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, and how can they call that all-wheel drive when there was no power going to the back wheels?
Well, for it to be all-wheel drive, there would have to be power going to the back wheels. Now, the axles are pretty small now on some of the vehicles. You'll look at them and you'll wonder how in the world they're making that axle that small, but it'll have more of an independent suspension. Now, it won't be your traditional axle like you would see in a vehicle axle. It would be more like two CV shafts or half shafts that would go, and again, they're very small looking. I'll mention a couple of really quick things to do with all-wheel drive. Very important if somebody has one. And of course, the difference between the two, four-wheel and all-wheel, is that four-wheel you can have it in two-wheel drive if you want, and then if you want all four wheels to pull, you activate it, either push a button or pull a lever, and it makes it to where all four wheels will pull the vehicle or have power going to them. All-wheel drive has it that way all the time. There's a viscous dampener inside the transmission assembly that absorbs the energy, like if you're going around the corner and the one side is turning faster than the other side, it absorbs that energy. Now, that's very important to know because of two things. If you have an all-wheel drive vehicle, you have to have roughly the same tread depth and definitely the same size tires on all four wheels. If you don't, one wheel is going to turn slightly faster than the other wheel, and that will eat up that viscous dampener inside that transmission. The other thing is I hope that vehicle that was being towed was on a flatbed, because you do not want to tow a all-wheel drive vehicle with just two wheels off the ground,
No.
because it will definitely fry that viscous dampener in there. So that's the difference between all-wheel drive, and maybe a couple of tips to go along with it.
Well, I think that's great for people to know, especially, again, I relate everything to collision. You get in a wreck and maybe you get hit in one wheel and it busts one tire, but you got an all-wheel drive vehicle.
You have to replace all four.
All
There you
four.
go. And so if the shop's only thinking like, man, and the insurance company says, oh, well, I only owe you for one tire. Well,
Yeah, no.
unfortunately, you got to buy all of them because, you know, you're going to give me back a car that's going to damage my car even more
Yeah.
because you didn't fix it right.
Yes.
So
I had a big argument with an insurance company one time about that.
you didn't do that, did you?
I don't argue very often, but with that, I told them you cannot just put one new tire, because the other tires were about over halfway worn out. And I said, you cannot just put one brand new tire on this vehicle, because you're going to cause transmission issues.
Right.
And they finally agreed, because I supplied enough information to show that you couldn't do that. Okay. All right. Now, you had the
Okay,
answer
thank
to
you.
our tech tip quiz. Is that right?
Well, I think I got the wrong answer, but I give it a stab.
All right. Be still. Okay. And the question was Martha, she owns a 2019 Hyundai. She had a bad driving habit that ruined her engine. What was the bad driving habit that she had? And John, all eyes are on you.
Well, I'm going to have to say, if she was anything like my wife used to be, the only maintenance she considered was putting gas in it. So I'm going to say she totally ignored regular maintenance.
Well, regular maintenance. Okay, now what would happen if, let's say that she didn't drive her car very often, short distances?
Yeah, I'm going to say she was starting to get water in the oil.
Well, let's go with that. Yeah, John. The reason you are the winner. The reason I wanted to mention this part is because a lot of people think that a low mileage car. Let's say you get a car that's 10 years old, got very low mileage, 20,000 miles. You say, "Wow, that car's got low mileage. I'm gonna buy this car." Be very careful, because people that drive very short distances, the oil never gets up to operating temperature. It just lays there. Then it gets gunky. The next day it gets a little bit more gunky. And you could have a car with very low miles with a completely gunky engine. An engine has to get up to operating temperature for a certain amount of time on a regular basis for the oil to flow correctly through there. So that's an important thing to look at. And John, you are the winner, and congratulations on winning the Tech Tip quiz.
Well, thank you, Aaron. I'll see you next week then.
Sounds great. Fantastic. I was going to mention something that we had going on in a house right now. It's actually in the Georgia house. There's a bill there now that seeks to stop steering and require OEM procedures. But I wanted you first, before you tell us a little bit about that, let people know what steering is. Most people know, but some people may not know what we're talking about by the term steering.
Well, Jamie was a culprit of that.
Yeah, I was like, what are y'all talking about?
When we came into it. So, this was a bill that has been brought to the House by the Georgia Collision Industry Association here in Georgia. So, hats off to those guys for really trying to work on this. Shops and consumers, and this more heavily focuses on a claimant. So you've gotten hit by somebody. But there's a lot of insurance companies out there that will try and sell their in-network shops and tell the consumer all of the reasons they should not go to somebody who's not within that network. And there's laws around certain steering practices that they can't do that already. But, with anything, everybody tries to find a workaround. And so it's getting heavier and heavier. But I think the one thing that I really do like about this bill is where it is highly focused on the OEM procedures and position statements, because as a claimant, you don't really have any rights inside of the policy, right? Like it's not your policy, so it's written for that insured, and so people kind of get left out there and they're just kind of beat up. So they're trying to battle with getting their car fixed, and it's not their insurance, and they're trying to get taken care of. And then sometimes the insurance company will say, well, we've only got so much coverage. That's all we're going to do. If you don't like it, sue the person that hit you, right? And, and so a lot of people go through their own insurance and get that handled. But, whether it's the insured or the claimant in the situation, shops are challenged today with trying to get the effective communication across of why OE procedures are so important. But the car complexity today is so much greater than what it was in the past. And so these shops are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to make sure that the consumer gets placed back in a car that is safe before they put them back in the road in a car, right, after an accident. And, I mean, just like we pointed out last week with Honda Acura with the bumper covers, right?
Yeah.
And it said you had to use an OE bumper cover because of the plastics that are reading through that ADAS equipment.
Yeah, and I'd never even considered that being a factor.
Yeah, I mean, it's and shops are challenged with, I mean, there are position statements out there from manufacturing kind of give you guidelines on how they want you to fix the car. And I hear it day in and day out from shops that get insurance companies say, well, we don't follow position statements. We only follow repair procedures. I mean, they're giving you a directive of what to do on the car they designed.
I mean, you are not going to be smarter than the engineer that manufactured that vehicle and all the data and the R&D that they did behind that. The insurance company is not smarter than these engineers. They're cheap is what it is.
And what's scary to me is there are shops that just kind of turn a blind eye to it, and they let these cars go. And I've said it more than enough times this year. I believe in collision. It is the year because claims are slowing. Things are getting more intense. Shops will have to decide this year whether they're going to be customer over carrier or carrier over customer. And there will be a line in the sand.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll see that is drawn. And these mega, private equity body shops, I think, will always weigh in the sight of carrier over customer because that's who they feel like are bringing their dollars. And shops need to really be focusing on independents that are going to be customer over carrier. They are going to advocate for you and do the right thing. So that's my pitch on it. I love what Georgia Collision Industry Association's doing. I think this is going to be great for Georgia consumers. I just hope that the deep, dark swamp doesn't drown this out with lobbyists and it goes away, right? And that's some of the fear you have when these bills go up there. So
let's go over to George. And George, welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help you with?
the extended warranties we see advertised on TV, which one of those y'all deal with, or you think they're worth messing with, or
Well, we
is
deal
the
with
one
a
that pays
lot of
better than somebody else?
Yeah, that is a great question. We deal with a lot of extended warranties, and there's some of them that are really good, and some that were not that great some months back that are starting to step up to the plate a little bit. It's actually many are getting better, and I think that the biggest thing with warranties are a little bit like I talked about with EV cars. They're not being sold correctly. So many times when someone buys an extended warranty, they're told, "Yeah, you don't have to worry about paying for car repairs anymore. Everything's covered." When that's not completely the truth. I mean, because you still have all your maintenance involved. Wear items on most policies. Now, some would probably cover everything, but most of the policies don't cover wear items or maintenance items. So in other words, if your brakes wear out, they're not covered. If your belts wear out, your tires wear out, none of that's covered. If your transmission fluid needs to be exchanged or your oil change or your coolant change, none of that is covered. So you will still have some car repairs, but I have seen people save money with extended warranties. They will come in and they will need an alternator or a starter, and we look at it, the policy's there, we call the extended warranty company, they say, yes, it's covered, the customer pays the deductible, boom. They're happy and they save money. So the biggest thing that I'll say on that, do a lot of research. Don't just, if somebody calls you and say, hey, I got this great policy, we'll pay for everything, you give us the money, don't do that. Do the research on the company first, find out, look at the reviews, talk to other people who have extended warranties, because one, you might find one at a much better price, and two, you might find one that actually does the things that they say they'll do. So
a lot of times for extended warranties too, what I've noticed is when you go to purchase the vehicle and they offer them, a lot of times they have different tiers that you can purchase as well. So you just got to make sure you understand the coverage that you're purchasing at that time. I have noticed also when you go to the manufacturer and you purchase a warranty, a lot of times they tend to, they tend to be a little bit more generous with goodwill when you purchase those through the factory and a bunch of other stuff as well. So they tend to be maybe a little bit pricier, but that is something to look at. And I feel like the coverage tends to be a little bit better overall when you're talking extended warranties.
And it used to be that if you would go to a dealership, you would be actually buying the extended warranty that was covered from that manufacturer. But it's not always like that anymore. Some of the dealerships will just be selling a third-party warranty, and just like anything else, some are good, some are not good. So just biggest thing, do the research and make a decision. And an extended warranty is not for everybody. It depends on what your risk level is. If you do your research when you're shopping for a car, and you pick a car that, well, one, you want to try to find one that's not going to depreciate in value 50% during the first 2 years. That's a big deal. But if you purchase one that's not going to depreciate fast, and it's got a history of low maintenance on the vehicle, and it will and things don't break, they don't have a lot of recalls all the time, high probability you're not going to need an extended warranty. It's like buying a warranty on a laptop computer. Hardly ever anybody does it anymore because they found they don't break. You don't run into problems.
So
same way with cars. If you do the shopping when you get in a vehicle, many people can get by and not need one. But if it would really knock you down if you had a large repair and you didn't have any emergency fund there, you may want one, because that way if your transmission goes out, your engine goes out. But be aware also that extended warranties many times takes a little bit longer on having your car repaired, because they have to call the insurance company, and you there might be things that the insurance company don't pay for that you'll still be responsible for.
So Aaron, I think it sounds like you're not pro extended warranty company.
I'm not against them. I'm not against them at all. No.
For the caller, he's asking which one is probably which one would you say is ranked the highest and the best to work with?
I've heard the service advisors. Now, I'm not down there talking to them all the time. but I've heard that the Route 66 has been good.
Okay.
Fidelity's been good. And actually, the Endurance is doing a lot better. We're hearing a lot better about that. Now, there's some that I won't name that they have had a really tough time with because they might call them and they say, you need an alternator. It's Thursday and it's after 4. That's not covered. So,
go, Aaron. Say it. Say it.
It's who you get on the line when you call, and a lot of times the diagnostics for a lot of that stuff isn't covered either, which is kind of a little bit of a
exactly.
loophole.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get customers that kind of get frustrated because now they're paying a deductible on top of, on top of that.
And some will tell you that you tell them you got water getting in the cylinder. So you take a borescope, you shine it down there, you take a picture of water in the cylinder. Well, they say, no, the engine has to be torn down. So why do you need to take that customer's engine apart over something that you got a picture of right there? So some will.
Because they don't trust you, Aaron.
Well,
they think you're putting that borescope down the toilet.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is know that there's things there that you should research before getting it. But I am not against extended warranties. There's a lot of them that can be very good.
Okay.
George, did that answer the question?
Yeah, I just had a 2015 Chevrolet truck, and I already put a transmission in, so you know how those go.
Yes.
I'm just wondering about it.
Yeah, you probably spent a lot of money and on that. And the biggest thing is, in many cases, the extended warranty may have covered that, and you may have gotten your money's worth out of that one. But did you have extended warranty, or you didn't have extended warranty?
I didn't have the warranty on that one.
Oh, you did?
Did not.
Oh, did not.
I did not.
Oh, okay.
Did not.
Okay, so you're considering getting that now then?
I thought about it. I've already put a transmission in it, so I don't know if it's worth getting extended warranty now.
Well,
that should be the major stuff.
I'd get with your service advisor or the shop that you trust, an automotive repair shop that you trust. Sit down, talk with them, and say, "Here, what do you think of my vehicle? I'd like to do an inspection. Do you hear anything unusual in the engine? Do you expect something to break?" And gather information. And that's what I always try to do when I'm trying to make a decision like that. Is gather as much information as you can, just like you're doing now with me. You're asking for information, and I would include a good vehicle inspection with that. And if they say, yes, we've had some problems with the internal parts of the engine, and this insurance company traditionally has covered that, then you may decide to. If they say, no, you should be good for a lot of miles, then I wouldn't. So gather that information.
Okay. Then I can say why I like my car. I got another car. It's a red 68 Camaro. What's not to like?
What's not to like about that?
Oh, I love it. I believe I would like. But please tell me, is it a manual transmission or an automatic?
Well, it's an original 327 4-speed car.
Oh no! Oh, I love it. Does the shifter make a clicking noise when it shifts? Does it click when it goes in?
Always.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Hey, I appreciate your call. Go ahead.
I'm changing the motor to a 350. I went to Bo's Machine Shop, and it's just like you said it was. I've been to many machine shops before, and that was the cleanest place I've ever been in.
Yeah, Michael does he has a great team and a beautiful machine shop. I agree with you.
That's where I send all my cylinder head work and everything that we got to do. Yep.
Bo's Machine Shop, fantastic place.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate it.
All right, then, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, wow. I can't believe we run out of time. Man, I wish we could grab another hour of this.
No,
I would love it, but we can't.
Yep.
We have to go.
Till next week.
But we've had a great time. Hey, we do want to say thank you, Jamie Bridges, David Clark.
Yes, sir.
And Mike Taylor. And we want to say thank you in there to Ana Lopez, pushing all the buttons, moving the levers, and Trip Clark in there, moving a lot of and giving us the go-ahead to say go. And we will pull out a shiny new C&C Auto Show next week, Saturday morning, about the same time. See you then.